Happy Tuesday, or whatever day it is that you're completing this lesson. Today we are completing Module 1, Lesson 3. Today we are going to be explaining how an argument demonstrates understanding of an audience beliefs, values, or needs. The keyword in this objective for today is the explaining piece. So a couple quick updates. Please make sure you're completing the lessons chronologically. So far, you should have completed Lesson 1, Lesson 2, and today you're completing Lesson 3. And to come is Lesson 4. Each lesson builds upon the last lesson, so it's important that you're following the steps to gain a deeper understanding of the standard. And again, our overall goal is pushing our depth of analysis to earn that sophistication point. Just a quick reminder, sophistication point is row C of the rhetorical analysis rubric. And so we're really trying to get away from these sweeping generalizations and instead focus on a complex understanding of the rhetorical situation by explaining the significance or relevance of the writer's rhetorical choices given the rhetorical situation. So we're trying to earn this sophistication point in our writing, and these lessons are almost step-by-step guides to earning that point. So as you're doing this, you're welcome to take it further and try writing a body paragraph or try writing the essay, but at this time we are not doing that just this second. So yesterday we focused on deepening our understanding of how an author uses rhetorical devices to appeal to his audience to reveal more about the writer or the purpose. Today we are going to focus on the actual writing. So we kind of bullet pointed a lot of things last time about, how does this like pertain to the audience's beliefs, or what does it show about the audience's needs or values? And today we're actually taking time to improve our rhetorical analysis commentary. So we're going to be looking at some examples and strengthening the commentary through our writing. So we'll be writing incomplete sentences. We will be revising the sample body paragraph that is in the warm-up. So if you have not already completed the warm-up, please head there now. The warm-up asks you to read this example rhetorical analysis body paragraph. Again, the body paragraph is about Abigail Adams' letter. All you have to do is highlight the commentary in yellow. You don't need to type anything. You are just looking for the commentary. And when we're talking about commentary, we're talking about the author of this making a comment about a piece of evidence or commenting on the rhetorical moves. So we're just looking for the commentary piece. So you can go ahead and pause this video and go ahead and take time to thoroughly read this out loud and highlight each piece of commentary that you find in yellow. Welcome back. If you are continuing with the video, you should have highlighted in yellow the commentary in this example rhetorical analysis body paragraph. I'm now going to kind of go over what you should have highlighted and kind of go over some key takeaways here. So I'm going to read this out loud, and we're going to pay close attention to the author's commentary and what could have been improved. Throughout the letter, Adams acknowledges her support of her son and reassured him that his journey will benefit him. Already, we notice this person is starting with a topic sentence, and what stands out to me about this topic sentence is that she's acknowledging the support of her son and she's reassuring him. So starting with that purpose of reassuring him, we have several examples of where she is trying to support and reassure him that this journey is going to be beneficial. And so notice that the author did a really good job of including that evidence to support this topic sentence. Continuing, she states that while traveling, he has been favored with superior advantages under the instructive eye of a tender parent. Adams reminds him that he has been given certain privileges during this journey. She continues to show her trust and confidence in him by declaring that nothing is lacking with him but attention, diligence, and steady application. She assures him that he has the traits needed to overcome the challenges and that this experience will allow him to really focus and be dedicated to applying these traits. Another way she provides her support is when she spins the negativity of the challenges in a positive light by reminding him that wisdom and penetration are the fruit of experience. A fruit connotes growth and sustenance, which is positive. Lastly, these warm sentiments are reaffirmed at the very end of Adams' letter, when she confirms that the growth she is confident he will experience will, quote, render his parents extremely happy, particularly his ever affectionate mother. She describes herself as affectionate, blatantly stating that she will always love him. And here's the concluding sentence. It's not quite commentary, it's just kind of concluding and returning back to the topic sentence. Overall, her language choices create an overall attitude of encouragement, giving her son the incentive to go far and do what is right. So we can kind of see that the student does a good job of staying focused. Like the student has evidence that is relevant and it relates to this topic sentence, but the student's paragraph is a little repetitive. She states an example, she provides a sentence of commentary. She states an example, she provides a sentence of commentary. She states an example, she provides a sentence of commentary, and it goes on. If we're going to earn that sophistication point, we need more in-depth analysis. We need more commentary. So instead of just that one sentence, she could have spent at least 2 or 3 more sentences further explaining how that evidence shows a positive connotation, or why this matters, that fruit connotes growth and sustenance. So we're going to take a look at an example of the first opening. So you'll notice in your class packet for today, you are going to strengthen each one of these yellow sentences. You are going to add more commentary, but you're going to add more commentary by addressing the rhetorical sentence. So here are a few tips as you work to revise these examples. The first one is when we're analyzing an author's rhetoric, we always want to state the example that we're going to be analyzing. And you'll notice that the author of this body paragraph does a really good job of stating the example. It's very clear. They give that example, and then they move on to a sentence of commentary. But after you state the example, you're going to want to explain the example. So take a little bit of time to put it in your own words, or to explain why it matters. The last 3 that you need to focus on get at the rhetorical situation. Analyze for writer. So what does this reveal about the writer? Analyze for audience. What does this reveal about the audience's values, beliefs, or needs? And then describe why it is persuasive. So let's take a look at this example number 1. And again, our example is over here. It's one we've analyzed in a previous lesson, so you already have some notes taken on it. And then notice I've captured these notes in bullet points at the bottom. But let's go ahead and read this example. She states that while traveling, he has been favored with superior advantages under the instructive eye of a tender parent. Adams reminds him that he has been given certain privileges during this journey. Notice that the commentary is just this one underlined sentence. And so here is the tips. This is kind of our checklist of what we want to include in our commentary to earn that sophistication point. So notice I've put a star by state your example. Yes, she has clearly stated her example here, and that's with the evidence. And she's kind of touched on the audience a little bit, but it's not enough. So I didn't put a star here, but it kind of touches on the audience when she says Adams reminds him that he has been given certain privileges during this journey. We realize now that John Quincy Adams, the audience, has those certain privileges, but it needs to be expanded on. We need to at least analyze for what does this reveal about the writer and her values and beliefs, and why is this persuasive? So what I would like for you to do is go ahead and pause the video. This example is in your class packet, and I want you to add more commentary using this checklist. So you might consider, what does this reveal about the writer's values? So Abigail Adams, what does it reveal about what she cares about? What does it reveal about her as a parent? What else does it reveal about John Quincy Adams, her son? And is this persuasive? Why is it persuasive to him? So go ahead and add more commentary. Pause the video. Welcome back to the video. Hopefully you had a chance to pause and add more commentary yourself. You probably also noticed that because we've already tackled this example and we have these notes down here at the bottom, that these notes should be reflected in our writing. That this does reveal the additional guidance and care that Abigail Adams has for her son. And yet that's not reflected in the commentary here. And not just her, but her husband as well, because she considers her husband to be a tender parent and an instructive eye for her son. You might also notice too, we have that he's experienced privilege, but we don't mention that it's provoking a sense of confidence in him, that when she uses this language, she's trying to get him to say, you know what, it is okay, like I can do this. And so we didn't include the provoking of confidence. And then we don't touch on the purpose in this commentary here. So hopefully you had a chance to kind of touch on, well, what is she ultimately trying to accomplish with this phrasing? And she's trying to say that challenges and difficulties are needed, that they are good experiences to have, and that he's in a place where he can tackle these challenges because he's under instructive eye of a tender parent. So here we're going to take a look at my revision, so feel free to capture these notes in addition to yours. You might even consider, like, how does yours look compared to my revision? I'm going to read this whole thing out loud to you, and then we're going to talk through where we see these tips show up in the writing. She states that while traveling, he has been favored with superior advantages under the instructive eye of a tender parent. Adams reminds him that he has been given certain privileges during this journey. This molding comes from a place of love and hopefulness for his future. Again, this is what it's revealing about her as the speaker. That the language she's using, the certain privileges that he has during his journey, it comes from love and hopefulness. She believes in him. So by describing his father as instructive and tender, she's calling attention to the guidance and support that has surrounded him during his journey. For someone who was reluctant to embark on the travel, this would be immensely reassuring. This causes her son to feel more confident in the struggles he encounters because he knows that his father is taking care of him. So you'll notice this last sentence touches on more of why it's persuasive and him as the audience member, what it would provoke in him, and it's provoking that sense of confidence. That's what she's trying to accomplish here. And we also notice that her hopefulness and love for him. So it's analyzing the writer a bit more about what this reveals about the writer. And so again, this is very strong. It not only analyzes her, like why she's using this language, it ties it back to the rhetorical situation. So it's thinking about, yeah, what example is she using? And then why is she using it, and when it pertains to writer, audience, and why it's persuasive. Okay, so your job for the independent practice is similar to what you just saw in this video. You're going to add commentary to each example. And the examples are here, 1, 2, and 3. Sorry, the writer has already stated the example. So notice that first checkpoint of like stating your example is done. Your job is to better explain the example, analyze for writer, analyze for audience, and describe why it is persuasive. This has been modeled for you in the video, just like we did now, so feel free to replay that video if you need that. Once you get to the mastery check, you'll notice that you're just putting it all together. So you're not necessarily writing anything else. You're just going back through your independent practice and what we did with the teacher model, and then you're copying and pasting it together. So this is our original version with the warm-up. And remember, we highlighted the commentary and said, you know what? It is not enough commentary. It does not go in depth. And so now you are just copying and pasting the new version, the revised version that would go more in depth as to why the author is, how the author is appealing to our audience, how the author is showing more about the writer and her values. So if you have questions, please feel free to send me a chat or link in Microsoft Teams. And if you are welcome to also ask a whole class question if you feel like it would be helpful. All right, good luck.